Let's talk about training your dogs to not bark out the windows in your house. My dogs are pretty good at this. I would say 95% of the time they are nice and quiet despite cars driving by, people mowing lawns, people walking into our yard, animals outside, everything except for squirrels, which every once in a while get us. We are really, really good about staying quiet and just watching through the window. So how did I do this? It is very similar to how I train my dogs to have manners in most situations, including and especially on car rides, which I have in the playlist I'll link down below for you. What I do is the second I start bringing a dog into my house, I will start to train them on this. We will sit in the window and we will have conversations. And so they are not really allowed over there unless I'm there to help guide them. I sit down next to them and I make sure I put my hands on my dog's shoulders. So physical touch is very important for training here. And we watch out the window, especially when things are happening. If it's a nice quiet yard, you can do this, but it doesn't help as much as when things are happening. So when you notice a car driving by or a deer walking through your yard or a neighbor outside in their yard doing something but within your sight line, now's the time to start training. You sit down with them, put your hands on their shoulders, you can pet them, you can talk with them, and you communicate with them. And you communicate through that touch. So you're actually going to put a little pressure on it if you need to get them to calm down. It's kind of like one of those jackets that a dog can wear during a thunderstorm that calms them down. Just a little bit of pressure communicates. We're not going too hard, but just pet. Very nice. And if you need to, if they get a little stressed, you just pinch in just a little bit so they can feel that you're there and comforting them. And you are going to have that conversation. You're going to say, that's just the neighbor. They're allowed to be there. It's okay. We're going to just watch. And that has been a really big thing for us. We've done just watch in every situation possible. We've done it while training car manners. I do it when we're walking in the park and somebody walks by us. Just watch is the signal for, I know that that's there and that you don't have to bark at it. And so communicating and teaching just watch is a really good tactic to help your dog in multiple situations. And so you're going to sit there. I like to put my head right up against their head when possible so that they know I'm watching too. I'm right here. I'm still touching you. And I'll use like the sides of my arms to kind of clamp alongside of their bodies so that they feel as much of me against them as possible while we're having these conversations. And I'll tell them, it's okay. We do not bark at squirrels. We do not bark at deer. We don't have to worry about that. Just watch. Just watch. And together we sit there and we watch it. Now in the beginning, obviously it's not going to do a ton of good. They're still probably going to bark and react to things. But the more you do it and the more you calm them down, add a little bit of pressure, be touching them, be cuddling with them and tell them it's okay, the more they're going to learn, I don't have to react in this way. We're going for that neutral reaction. And keep in mind, even as you're doing this, even if you spend a ton of time and effort doing this, there will be some situations where your dog's going to bark anyway. My dogs are good for 95% of the time. There are people with lawnmowers. There are people who mow my lawn. There are people who are walking up to my door to deliver packages, and they are really, really good 95% of the time. In fact, like I said, they don't mind deer. They do mind squirrels. One of them minds squirrels. So on occasion, I do get some barking. And when we do that, then we have to come in and we have a lesson. We have a conversation, we communicate, and I tell them we're not doing that. That's not how we're doing things, and I remove them from the situation. And if they then behave, I am rewarding them and I'm reinforcing what they are doing well. So if you are somebody who does food motivation, by all means, give them the treat. You can even sit there at the window, and when they're quiet, if you say quiet or just watch and they're good, give them treat. Reward, reward, reward. And when they don't get the treats. And so we are reinforcing that good behavior. We're showing them what to do. We're modeling it for them. And we're teaching them through physical touch and through our voices what they're supposed to do, and then rewarding them when they do those things. This is a process. This is not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen within a week. You should be doing this for a couple of months after you bring your dog into your home, and they are going to learn. Now, the benefits to having more than one dog is if you already have a dog that was well behaved, they're also going to model. They're also going to teach that dog how to behave properly. So you can use what you have around you to help and make sure everybody in the house is on the same page. So we're all using the just watch command. We are all going to be sitting there. We don't have to do it at the same time. Like if you and your partner are both there, you don't both have to be touching your dog and communicating, but taking turns and making sure you're both doing it when those situations come up means that you're reinforcing the same things and not sending those confusing signals. So pay attention to how you're doing this, and it should peter down as you are going so that they are less and less reactive to things outside. Now my dogs just lay here. They lay here and they watch everything. Sometimes they perk up when they see something new or unusual. On occasion, they'll look at me and kind of be like, Mom, you getting this? And as long as I'm chill about it, they go right back to watching. They're nice and quiet. I have so many videos of them just kind of watching the neighbors and watching things go by without reacting. And it's one of my proudest moments as a dog mom to be able to have non-reactive dogs watching out my window. I am so pleased. I'm so pleased that they behave so well in the car and through our windows. Drop your questions down below and follow along as we continue to help you navigate the world of being a dog parent so you can level up for your pup and give them the best life possible. As I'm doing this outro, our neighbor is literally walking down our driveway to get his mail, and my dogs are not flinching so that I can finish this video. Proud dog mom moment. Drop your questions down below, and we'll see you in tomorrow's episode as we continue to help you create the best life possible for your dog.